Radhe Radhe everyone. Welcome to our Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita session. Nitinji, over to you to start our session.
Thank you, Amitamaniji, and thank you, Gayatriji, Padminiji, for a wonderful session like always. So welcome everybody to today's Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita session. We will continue on our journey of the discussion of 3 S's. So we have spoken about sadhana. Today we will talk about seva. Sadhana, I did not complete it. Roop Dhyan, we were having a discussion. The other 3 or 4 aspects of Roop Dhyan Sadhana, I will introduce it along with Satsang when we speak about Satsang. We have spoken about some of the tools and the enablers, how to help you, which can help us to practice Roop Dhyan. And there are a few more which we will discuss when we talk about Satsang tomorrow. Having said that, let's get into the other important topic. The second S, which is going to be Seva, is what we are going to discuss today. And like always, I have picked up some verses which have references to take the discussion forward. Like I've said, we'll not do a deep dive into those specific shlokas as such, but those shlokas bring in the concept that we discuss about, and that's where we'll take it an opportunity to introduce those shlokas and move forward with our discussion on the second S. So let me share my screen and we will get underway. Okay, you're able to see my screen. Get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. All right, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening to all of you once again. So let's get started. Today I picked up 2 shlokas. I'll talk about that. So this is what we are going to discuss today. We're going to touch upon some of these aspects today. What is seva? Is it really needed for me to do seva? Do you know that seva is the fruit of something? We are going to talk about a little bit. And what is the right mindset needed to perform seva? I don't know if we can go that far today, but we'll continue on that discussion anyways. So we've been talking about bhakti, the 3 S's. We spoke about sadhana, ekant sadhana, and we spoke about some of the aspects of tools and enablers for Roop Dhyan, why it is important, and how to practice it, and what are the benefits of it. Today, we are going to talk about seva, and then tomorrow we'll touch upon the satsang aspect of it. So, this is going to be our topic of our discussion today, focus on seva. Let's move on. Now, I have introduced 2 shlokas today. We'll pick up few hands for either of the shlokas, and this actually I've highlighted the text which is of interest for our today's discussion. So the first one, we have gone through it, 15:7. It's a very important shloka where Lord is saying, let me recite it and then you're welcome to follow along. Mame vansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha Mana shasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. All right, let's take a few volunteers.
Sandhya ji, please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Mame vansho jivaloke jivabhutah sanatanah manah shasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati.
Very nice, Sandhya. Thank you.
Sanji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Mamaivaamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manashashthanindriyani prakritisthani karshati. Radhe Radhe. Some Dhurt has lowered my hand. Actually, when I raised hand, some Dhurt has lowered. Maybe it's Rahulji.
That is why I was wondering how come Samji got pipped out today. Okay, somebody had to cheat actually to put you to the second spot. Okay. All right, let's take a few more hands and then we have another shloka today.
Samji, please go ahead. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
This is Samji.
Mamevansho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanha Mana Shashtani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Radhe Radhe.
Samji, Radhe Radhe.
Dineshji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe.
Mamaivanso jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manasrashtani indriyani prakrutistani karsati. Radhe Radhe.
Full, very nice, Dineshi. Radhe Radhe. We will take one more hand on this and remaining on the next one.
Aparnaji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Mamaivansho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manashastrani prakritisthani karshati.
Very nice, Aparnaji. So this shloka, Lord Krishna is saying the embodied souls in this material world. So we are embodied souls. We are souls and we are embodied. Okay, we are not bodies with a soul. We are a soul with a body. They are my eternal fragmental parts. Okay, so this is the, pay attention to this particular thing. Eternal fragmental parts. So we have a part and a whole relationship, Ansh and Anshi relationship. However, he says bound by material nature because they are conditioned, they are struggling with 6 senses, including the mind. So mind is also included. Now, because of our mind and senses, we think ourselves as a body, we are struggling. And that's what Lord Krishna is saying in this shloka. However, the point of our discussion that will come in our discussion is the fact that we are eternal fragmental parts of God, Okay, that's a key thing. Now let's go on to the next one. That is also going to be a good one. So this one we will anyway come. This is a beautiful shloka. This would require a discussion on its own for about a week when we get to it. We are in 4.31. When we got to 4.34, we will have an entire week spent on this shloka. But the reason I picked up this shloka is because the concept of SEVA is introduced here. Okay, so that's what we are going to talk about. So this says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. All right. Do we have anybody who wants to?
Yes, we have your hands raised. Surya Prakashji, please go ahead.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानी तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very nice. Surya Prakashi. Radhe Radhe.
Ramyaji.
Say Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Pranipatena.
Pranipatena.
Pari.
Prashnena.
Sevaya. Upadeshyanti. Te jnanam. Jnaninas. Tattva. Darshinaha. Thank you.
Very nice. We have the youngest 7-year-old Satsangi. So good job. Very nice. I forgot your name again today.
Swadra.
Swadra. Swadra. Very nice, Swadra. Good
Very
job.
nice, Beta. Very
Good
nice.
job. All right. Let's
Radhe.
pick up the remaining hands. And if you've already recited, then you can lower your hand. But let's take the remaining hands real quick.
Sumeshji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Nitinji, Radhe Radhe everyone. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Very
Radhe
nice.
Radhe.
Thank you. Last 3 hands. Radhe Radhe.
Giji, please go ahead. Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Thank you. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिना तत्त्वदर्शिना.
Very nice. Thank you, Pragiji. All right, last two hands, real quick.
Riya ji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe ji.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very nice, Riya ji. Okay, last but one.
Srinath ji.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Nitin ji, Amitwani ji and everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha.
Wonderful, very nice. All right, Shyamji, real quick.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Tad vidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very nice, Shyamji. Your voice has changed. I believe it's Falin today.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Falin.
Very nice.
Radhe Radhe.
Good job, Palin. You're picking up. All right, so let's get started. So I picked up two shloka. So the first one I had picked up, this talks about this shloka, Mame Vansho Jivaloke, because we are going to talk about this, in which Lord is saying that embodied souls in this material are my eternal fragmental parts. In this one, God is saying that if you have to learn the truth, he's very clearly saying that you approach a spiritual master. He's not saying go and start reading scriptures. He's not saying go and start doing Kundalini Jagaran. He said go and approach a spiritual master. Then he goes on to say, inquire from him with reverence. Please pay close attention to these words, and render service unto him. That means you have to render service and inquire with reverence. Both of these two things have to happen. And then what will happen is such an enlightened saint, enlightened is the buzzword. That means that saint should be himself or herself, Shrotri and Brahmanish. They should be enlightened. They should have seen the truth. They are not theoretically well versed. They are practically realized. They can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Very clearly, Lord is saying. So render service unto him is the concept. Now service, seva, is what we're going to talk about today. The second S that we introduced, right? We said 3S. Sadhana is what we were talking about yesterday. Today we'll talk about seva. Now, first part was Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So each part, if we look at it, Ansh, part and Anshi, whole relationship, even in this nature, we'll pick up few examples to see when something is a part of something. When it is an Anshi relationship, then automatically relationship of service or seva is established, where Anshi is obliged, Ansh is obliged to serve the Anshi. Part is obliged to serve the whole for its own benefit. Okay, we'll see through some examples. Each part is naturally drawn towards its whole, and constitutional duty of part is to serve the whole. This is how it gets established. Right? The raindrop, if you look at the liquid drop, is a part of the ocean, and finally through the water cycle, through cloud, again it comes back to the whole. It contributes towards the whole. That is how it goes. Another beautiful example is hand and stomach example. Hand cannot exist on its own. So hand is a part of the body and it serves the stomach. If hand says that enough of feeding the stomach, I am going to cut or sever myself from stomach or the body and subsist on my own, it will not happen. It's in serving the whole, the hand ends up getting the nourishment that it needs automatically. That is how the nature is designed. If you see, when hand serves the stomach will do whatever is needed to replenish the nutrients or provide for the nutrients that the hand needs to sustain itself. That is how it goes. Let's look at a more contemporary, more example that you can relate. Even employer-employee relationship, if you look at, right? We have CFOs, CBOs, CLOs, CMOs, PMs, BAs, developers. They are part of the whole. What is whole in this case? Company. Who are you serving? Company. It happens that way, right? When you are part of the family, you're serving the family. It's a unit that you are because you have established an unshanshi relationship. So it automatically starts happening. It becomes obligatory on you to do that. Why was this whole battle that is going on right now between Russia and Ukraine happening? Because the NATO wanted Ukraine to be part of it. They wanted to establish an unshanshi relationship. And once that relationship is established, once you are part of the land, you have to serve that. You take that, right? SARC countries are there, NATO alliance is there, allied forces are there. When the world war happens, Anshi has to serve the Ansh. So when you establish that alliance, that relationship, that you are part of this big organization, you have to serve them. We try to do that as well, right? In this material world. In spiritual world, this relationship is established de facto. Because we are eternal parts of God, it is in our benefit, or it is incumbent upon us, or it is our constitutional duty, or it is a constitutional position that we have acquired just by being Ansh of God, that we have to serve him. We have no choice there. Okay, so we have to serve. Let's ingrain that thing in our mind. Let's look at it through some more examples. So I hope this point is clear. When you are part of a whole, you have to serve it. Okay, in material world also, we are trying to simulate these spiritual principles. They are not perfect. An employee can be a disgruntled employee who may end up becoming a whistleblower, because we have artificially created that, or somebody can leave an alliance if they are not happy. But in this case, this relationship is automatically established just by virtue of us being part of God. Now let's move on. See, let's look at it. It's a very important concept. Have you seen dry water anywhere? Not possible. It's called, in English, it is called, I think this word is called oxymoron. Oxymoron means the first thing negates the other. So dry water, not possible. What do you call that? Warm ice, not possible. Cold fire, not possible. So that means water and wetness, they are inherently tied to each other. Inherently tied to each other and inseparable, right? Similarly, if you look at fire, heat is inherently inseparable from fire. I hope it's making sense. Then milk whiteness. Have you seen chocolate color milk? Yeah, you would have, right? It's chocolate milk, but milk inherently is white. You can't separate whiteness from milk. So in that sense, it is called dharma. Intrinsic inseparable property of something is called its dharma, where just by virtue of being what you are, you exhibit something. It is called dharma, a very natural thing which is inseparable. So you cannot separate whiteness from milk, you cannot separate heat and light from fire, you cannot separate the attribute of wetness from water, because that is what it defines it, right? Now, why am I saying that? There's a reason for that. Okay, let's move on. Now, let's look at some examples. Here's a little girl watering plants. Now, here's a family. They're just spending time with family, taking care of the little one and each other. Then you have, here is somebody who's fond of potlucks, I guess. They are hosting guests and relatives and having some kind of a party. Then you have somebody working at office. Then you have somebody fighting a war for the sake of their duty, right? They might be at the border, they might be protecting the border. So they are fighting a war. Then you have somebody doing exercising in gym, preparing for Olympics or just trying to stay fit. Somebody is taking out pets. So what is the common denominator in all of it? We are doing something. Anybody want to take a blind shot at it? And it is related to the previous slide. Okay, that's a clue. Everybody is doing something and nobody is doing nothing. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something? Yes, Jonji.
Radhe, I was gonna say that everybody's serving somebody.
True. Bingo. Yes, Samji, you wanted to say something more?
Yeah, something similar. That everybody is doing the seva, serving somebody, and the higher authorities will be helping them.
Right. So the point here is, like I said, the milk and whiteness cannot be separated. It is an inherent quality of milk to be white. It's an inherent quality of fire to be hot. It's an inherent quality of water to be wet. Similarly, it is an inherent quality of all human beings, all souls to serve. You have no choice but to serve. It is a spiritual law. Okay. Is there anybody who's not serving? If they're doing nothing, they're serving their body by doing exercising and stuff like that. You have to serve somebody. And if nobody has any work, they will pick out a pet and start serving them. They'll get a dog or a cat and then they'll start serving it, because it is innate nature for us to serve. Because we are part of God, we have to serve no matter what. Okay, so that brings us to this concept of this spiritual law. I have introduced 3 before. Maybe I'll compile a list of all the spiritual laws where you can just take it as for granted. Like the first spiritual law we spoke about was that you have no choice but to be happy. Nobody has taught you, trained you, coached you to be happy, but you will seek happiness right from the day you are born, by crying, by declaring to the world that I had a miserable, birth and it was a lot of pain. You cry, and crying is also a way to alleviate your pain. So the day we are born, we declare to the world that I am going to seek happiness without being taught. And till the moment we depart from this world, our every endeavor, planning, plotting, thinking is all about how do I get the next set of happiness out of this world. And it is a common across all the human beings, regardless of caste, creed, nationality, whatever it is. And isn't it fascinating? Even though we are very different from each other, our retina scans, our biometrics, our body odors, everything is different. But one thing that binds us is the fact that we are all seeking happiness without being taught so. Because we are eternal, we are fragmental parts of God, and God is eternal. He's an ocean of bliss. And as part of being an ocean of bliss, we have to seek bliss. So that was one of the laws. However, similar to happiness, this is another law. The law is you have no choice but to serve. Okay. Try not to serve, you cannot. You have to serve somebody. Similar to happiness, we have no choice but to seek happiness, but we have a freedom to choose where we want to seek happiness. And similar to that, we have a choice whom to serve. We always have a choice whom to serve. Okay. Now let's look at it. Blue pill or red pill. I think if you have seen Matrix, you will understand this. But the point here is you can choose where do you want to seek happiness. And I'm going to introduce another law today, which is very fascinating. See, the more you listen to Swamiji and Maharaji, it's like mind-blowing concepts. Nobody can refute that. Okay, like you have to serve, you have to seek happiness, and all those concepts. I think I'll compile a list of spiritual laws and bring it in one of the sessions. Now, what are these choices? Either you will serve material realm, like you see, we saw that picture, which anyway we are doing de facto, or you serve divine realm. However, there's a catch here. you could be serving material realm and at the same time divine realm. Okay, that becomes Karam Yoga. That is what scriptures are telling us. It's not saying you start doing that. And when you talk about serving here, that becomes Seva. Okay. When you do Seva, it's like you are serving the divine realm at that point. Okay. That is the importance of Seva. Now, the thing is that even when you are serving the material realm, you can actually make it divine realm also if you practicing Karam Yoga. You are not doing, and how will that happen? Because you are doing it not for the sake of your own happiness. You are doing it for the sake of God's pleasure. That is what Karam Yoga is. Seva is essentially rendering service to Guru or God with a consciousness that I am going to put my skills to the best use or for the pleasure of God. Because what God, the skills and the talents that are given to us is God's gift to us. What we do with it is our gift back to Him. So when we start utilizing it not for the sake of our own enjoyment, that the next best job I can get so that I can earn more and travel around the world and buy that next luxury car or get that palatial house I always dreamt of, or lay my hands on that latest gadget that is coming on, when that consciousness starts subsiding and you're doing it for the pleasure of God, for the larger good. It could be any activity. It could be philanthropy. It could be putting your skills to good use for, helping people out with the consciousness that you're helping, you're actually doing it for the pleasure of God. Then it starts becoming in the divine realm. Now, what happens is when you start doing this in divine realm, you get meva. They say in seva, there is meva. Okay, there's a difference. When you do it with this consciousness, or you pick up an activity like, let's say you get associated with a temple, or let's say you get associated, supporting your guru's mission, then it becomes seva. It's no longer material world at that point. And that is the second shloka we spoke about, right? When you approach a spiritual master, an enlightened saint, you inquire from him or her with reverence and render service unto him. That is where service is very important. Tomorrow we'll go really deep into the benefits of service, but today I'm just introducing this concept. It's very important to go through the benefits also. I have laid out that entire thing and you will enjoy that conversation. What are the benefits you're going to get from seva? But the point here is, if you do this, you are getting meva, spiritual benefit that we will go in detail tomorrow. And when you do this is another spiritual law. What is that? When you do shram, which is called labor, what do you get? More labor, more shram. That is how the world works. Has anybody gotten less shram by doing shram? You thought you will study hard and then life will be peaceful. Then you got a good job. Did life become peaceful? Then you thought I'll become a manager and life will be peaceful. Did it become less peaceful, more peaceful? Then you thought, no, I'll become a director and a VP and then life will be peaceful. So the result of material shram is shram only. Okay, this is a fact. You thought once I'll get married, then I'll chill out and, wife will cook food and I'll eat chapatis. I mean, did it become less? It become even more cumbersome. And then the kids come, So shram, when you do shram, material shram, it will give you only shram. However, lifetime after lifetime, we continue to be besharam. So even though we're getting so much of shram, but this is a law. In material world, you will keep on getting shram. In spiritual side, it actually just the opposite. Okay, you are going to get spiritual upliftment, and that will start giving you a lot of peace. So that shram will no longer seem like shram because you are doing it for the pleasure of God. That is the beauty of doing seva. You go for seva 20, I've worked for 16, 18 hours at times. It doesn't feel like, and similarly, if you do it at work, there are moments when you enjoy work, that is a different thing, but it will feel like, oh my God, so tiring it is. That production issue came, this came, that came. So this process continues. So the better strategy is to direct your shram towards something which is actually uplifting and benefiting. There's no dirt to the work at all in the material world. No matter how hard you work, it will only give you more hard work. Nothing more than that. And there's another aspect to it. See, for the material things, this is how the graph goes. Maybe I should plot it in one of the sessions. First of all, you have to do shram to get it. So a lot of anxiety is there and you want to get something, particular milestone that you want to achieve. And so it will take effort and pain to get there. Then it will take effort and pain to maintain that flat curve. In order to maintain that also, it will take effort and pain and a bit of insecurity, anxiety also. What if I lose it, this position and stuff like that. And then finally, it is snatched away. Then there's pain again of losing that thing. So this trajectory happens in everything in the material world. Spiritual world, it's not the case. Your bliss keeps on increasing with passing day, and more realizations and anubhutis that they say, right? Experiences, refreshing experiences keep on lighting up your life, and or making your life much more meaningful and purposeful. So that is how the trajectory goes. So that is the significance of seva. And another thing of seva is not something that we get just like that in life. Okay. Now we're talking about these 3 S's, right? Sadhana, seva, and satsang. Seva is actually a fruit of sadhana. So if you have gotten seva on a platter, it is the fruit of the sadhana you have done in your previous life. Don't assume this work just comes like that. If this is something you get involved in for whatever reason, that means that is the fruit of the sadhana you have done in the past, because seva doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of meritorious deeds, sadhana that you have done in the past. So fruit of sadhana is seva, and through seva you get a lot of meva, and through other drills, material drills, you get more drills. This is as simple as that. I'll tell you my own example. When I used to be in Infosys, and even otherwise, I used to work really hard. Okay, that onshore, offshore model and stuff like that. And then I met some ISKCON people. They said, we get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do 16 rounds. I said, how can you manage this with this IT job? IT job, onshore, offshore model, how can you manage it? I'm getting up at 4 and doing my 16 rounds and going to the temple over the weekends and stuff like that. It just did not make sense to me. And because my work was relentless, and in IT, you know how the job goes. So I said, I know these people are insane, or they are least motivated, and it's just a matter of time before they'll get fired in their job. Okay. Nothing happened. They continued that way. It was only when I got into SEVA, I understood when you make material life as the focal point of your life, center of your universe, it will make you dance for the rest of your life. You will become tired. You'll never get time. You'll always keep on complaining. I don't have time. I don't have time. My schedule is like this, that. It will continue. The moment you start making seva or something related to seva for God and Guru as the focal point of your life, everything will start aligning. I don't know how, magically, automagically, you start getting time. So if I compare my own story, the amount of work I used to do then, I probably have more work now. But if you ask me, I have much more time now. I don't know how it happens, but it just happens. With COVID, I mean, I got an opportunity to work from home, and that saves me a couple of hours in my traffic. It just happened all by, and that enables me to do these sessions very easily. Not easily, I should, but it supports that. Because I always used to fear when COVID thing will subside, if I have to travel one way, 1 hour for 1 hour every day, how am I going to manage these sessions? But God arranged it so nicely that I don't have to worry about it, knock on the wood. So what I've realized is when you start making out time for these things, other things, they just start falling in place and they start supporting you. But when you are too busy in your other things, they will make you tired for the rest of your life, and there is no escape from it. I mean, it has to be experienced by experimenting it, but this is how it works. So seva is the fruit of sadhana. And if we get an opportunity to do seva in whatever form or manner, we should add it to our routine, because end of the day, as we are going to talk about tomorrow, we are Nityadas, we are fragmental parts of God. The sooner we start building these sanskars, the better it is for our spiritual journey. With that, I'll take a quick pause to see if anybody has any questions on what we have discussed today. Yes.
Sandhya, go ahead, ma.
I just thought I'll share an experience-based thing that like it's of course I mean when we make seva as the central focus or spirituality as the central focus, we start becoming efficient. I think one of the reason is this as well. We start valuing time and become more like, like the same work that we were doing earlier, we start doing it much more efficiently. And that also helps probably managing it. I mean, in the process, so not at wherever you are, but yeah, but that way it helps. So
Honestly, I'm glad you brought that point. In fact, I'll tell you honestly, the days we don't have Bhagavad Gita sessions, right? Then when I realized that my productivity at office also takes a dip. It happens. And the day I have sessions, it's at a different level altogether. Even if I have a stressful day, 10-hour day, I'm somehow able to manage it. It just works out beautifully. And on other days, even if I have a 6-hour day, it seems like a drag. So that is one aspect for sure. The other thing is productivity is one thing. Now, the other thing is you get into a zone when you're doing seva and make it, and it's a non-negotiable, commitment kind of a deal where just like your job, you make it a commitment. God starts supporting it in so many ways. I see so many factors in my office and otherwise they've started getting aligned. And I just have this time for myself. Otherwise, I used to have calls even around this time from offshore or somewhere. Now it's like I'm completely blocked out. Nobody complains. Just starts happening. Somehow things start supporting you. So it happens when we get into the seva world. But seva in general is needed for us because it is something more than ourselves. Right? We are adding something. It is said that if I won't think about myself, then who else will? But then the thing is, if that is all I do, then who am I? So if we have spent our entire life just catering to our own needs, our immediate family needs, and our sensual gratification, it's a life basically highly underutilized. And seva is something which helps you expand your bubble and give back to society and people around in some way, which is very, very satisfactory, uplifting, and most importantly pleases God, especially if you're doing it with that consciousness. It's the service that I'm rendering to you. And if you get seva, direct or indirect seva of Guru, nothing like it. It's like you've hit a jackpot. Seva doesn't come easy. Okay, we may think, people keep asking, oh, do this seva, do that seva, not a big deal. Trust me, it doesn't come easy. Your sanskars will not let you do seva. Your mind will not cooperate. Your schedule will not cooperate. But if all of those factors align and you're able to do seva, that means it's a huge blessing. Yes, let's hear from other participants as well. But tomorrow, by the way, we are going to go really deep into the benefits of seva. Don't miss out on that discussion. And also, I think in the satsang aspect of it, because the sadhana, roop dhyan aspect that I spoke about, I did not talk about the, the naam, gun, roop, naam, roop, gun, leela, dham, which are so immersed in kirtans, in satsangs. If we focus on that, that is also roop dhyan, and a very powerful way of doing roop dhyan during kirtans. When you sit in kirtans, do smaran, chantings, and thinking about focusing on the words of those satsangs, those bhajans, beautiful bhajans, that is a very powerful way of doing roop dhyan if you want to try that. Guided meditation we spoke about, but we'll talk a little bit about it tomorrow as well. Okay, let's hear from participants. One announcement I wanted to make was the Seva Sadhana Day that we have. Mrutavaniji, let's quickly make that announcement and then we'll pick up other participants as well. It's a great way to do sadhana and seva that we have been talking about. I think this Saturday is the first one, and every month we are going to have it in Dallas. So don't miss out on it. Shamji, you can think about flying in from India if you want to, but that is going to put all the knowledge that we have acquired to practical use during that whole entire day we are going to spend doing just this activity. Okay, I may not be able to make it for the first session, but I'm really looking forward to the subsequent sessions that are going to happen. So check it out. Any other announcements, Amritavaniji?
That's it. Mainly, yeah, Swamiji's India tour. The link has posted, and family camp is in July. So the early bird discount will end by Jan 31st. Please make sure that you fill that, you register for that. That's it, Nitinji, mainly. If anything else, I'll post the links in the chat window.
Sure.
a quick question in the chat. Can you explain what MEWA means, please? Radhe Radhe.
Oh, Meva, sorry about that. For some reason, I assumed that everybody would. So Meva is actually a Hindi word. That means you get, can anybody translate Meva into English? Meva means fruit or something. It's like a prize. When you do seva, which is rendering service, you get a prize or Meva or some fruit, which is very, very beneficial for us, for our spiritual journey. That is Meva. So it's a Hindi word. Because it rhymes with seva, that is why it's frequently used.
Shyamji, please go ahead.
Yes, Shyamji.
Yeah, Radha Devtamanji,
Radhe Radhe.
regarding seva, I would like to share my experience. जब मैंने ये start किया था ये session, तो मुझको अमृतावान जी आपने खुद pick किया था सेवा co-host करने के लिए. I did not know what is co-hosting, but at that time I knew that Amritavan ji was hosting almost 8 hours, 9 hours a day. She's the only host we had at CIC level, what I know as of now. And then gradually we had Pallavi ji, and then I was told to do seva, and I was forced into it, and now I love it because it's the only way I can speak on my own. I don't have to ask the co-host to unmute me, and I can do what I want to do. And then recently, when Hema ji was away for her exams, Urvi and Sandhya ji gave me the seva of posting the link on the community portal. So seva is coming to me on its own. I know I can do it, but I can't do it. I don't ask for seva, but I think I should ask for seva now, because as God wants me to do seva, but I'm a bit reluctant at times because मुझसे होता नहीं है. We all have time, as you said. We have time for our all things, all nonsense things. But when it comes to anything for God, Guru, Hari, we are always so busy that we can't even take out few seconds to do what he wants to do. But I am so helpful, so grateful, and so obliged to Amritamanji, Nitin Bhai, and Sandhya, and all that. People are forcing me lovingly. They think I can do it, and I am doing it. I think it makes sense. And as you are saying that sadhana and seva you are doing every Sunday at RKT Dallas, I know I can't come this time, but Nitin Bhai, trust you me, one day I'll make sure I'm there before you come there.
Sure. We look forward to that. And very rightly pointed out, Shyambai, sometimes we just have to take that initial leap. If you can overcome that initial inertia, seva actually grows on you. And people who have been doing seva for years, you can't imagine the intensity they bring to seva. It's like a commitment to their life, and they shed tears while doing seva because it's like an opportunity given to them. That is the bhav attitude that they have. Do they get paid for it? No. What does it come at the expense of their personal time? But still, they are so committed because they understand the value of it. They've realized it. And it's a matter of experience when you start doing that. So seva, that's why I'm saying, and seva could be as little as, trying to get somebody on this path, doing a little bit of thing, whatever it is. Seva doesn't have to be, see, one of the things that scares people is, oh my God, commitment. Oh my God, do I even have the skills? Commitment, right? What if I'm not able to do it? So seva is something to test God and Guru. You just have to take a leap of faith. Everything gets done. I was in the same boat. And I'm telling you, through my experience, you just jump in. It doesn't work like a corporate plan where you need to plan pros and cons and backup and this and that. No, you just jump into it. It just works. Okay, because it's not something ordinary. God and Guru take care of it. They only check your sincerity and hard work or honesty around doing it, and everything gets done. Trust me. See, we are doing this big drive right now. I'm telling you, you will see it. This will all get done in front of our eyes. But we are fortunate ones who may get an opportunity to do seva. Seva could be a shram dan, where you're giving your time. It could be a dhan dan, and it could be anything as little as, trying to maybe share about the sessions or getting people on this path. Anyway, whichever way you can get associated, wonderful. But pick up any seva, make it a part of your routine, even if it's 5 minutes a day. Let it grow on you. Don't let go of opportunity if you can get involved in any kind of seva. That what I would tell you. It's amazing.
At times, what I do is I ask my kids to do it for me. Diva and Palin, they do it for me. So I also try to do that at least they do for me, not forcefully or for my respect to me. But I make sure that they also have a habit of doing it initially or later on. They don't feel it, the burden of it. So I guess that's the best way to show your little bit towards your Hari Guru that yes, we are there for you, and at least they choose you that you be for them somewhere somehow.
Very true. I see quite a few hands, so let's hear everybody. I know a lot of people have to I'd love to hear from all of you. Seva anyway, we're doing material seva anyways, right? Of the world, of our boss, our company, our stakeholders, everybody. We are doing seva. Anyway, we are doing seva. So why not divert a part of it to something which is truly going to earn some paramarth for our soul? That is the question. Yes, let's hear from others as well.
I'll take some new hands.
Sure.
I mean, Ambika ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Ambika ji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Just wanted to check about the community portal. I've been missing out on sessions because I'm at work. So I'm kind of very irregular. So I would like to know what is the schedule you follow, as in when do you upload the sessions?
Yes.
Like after some time.
Yes, that's right. So in the session, video would be available on the community portal along with the topic that we have discussed along with the date, which goes into YouTube, but that link is on the portal. And typically there is a week delay because those videos come in towards the weekend. So there's going to be a latency or a delay of about a week, but everything you can find as a resource on the portal.
Thank you so much, Radhe.
Thank you, Ambika ji.
Abhishek ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Abhishek.
Radhe Radhe, Nitin ji. Radhe Radhe, everyone. As you said that seva is doesn't come easy. It's true. But still, Swamiji gave thousands of us seva through this university project. Yep. Anyone who is connected with JKYog by any means have this opportunity, and we can yesterday Swamiji, I have heard Swamiji that Bhagwan और गुरु का कार्य तो होता ही है. हम अपना उसमें योगदान देकर अपना कल्याण करें. So the project will be done, and it's in our hands that how much we can make of it.
Very true.
Radhe Radhe.
Beautiful. Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Abhishek. Yes, it's just like the bridge from to Lanka would have been built regardless, but Ram Bhagwan gave an opportunity all the way from Vanars to Squirrel to gain some paramarth. So similarly, this project will anyway get done. It's just an opportunity for us to earn some spiritual merit for ourselves. Yes, let's hear.
Chandruji, please go ahead.
Chandruji.
Yes, Radhe Radhe. Even Kekai, she had the opportunity to serve Ram as a mother. Only Ram knew that Kekai can give me this commandment to go into exile into the forest for 14 years. And people actually in the world are afraid to name their child Kekai, but for Ram, he knew that this is not a punishment for me. My mother loves me, but this is her job, her spiritual duty towards me. Just wanted to share that. Was a seva too from a mother to a child.
True. Very nice, Chandruji. In fact, there was not a Kekai after that Kekai. Nobody has named their daughter Kekai afterwards. However, that was the seva of Kekai towards Ram. She went to Saket Lok. Okay, our scriptures say Kekai went to Saket Lok, and that was the seva she did for Ram, because when God descends, somebody has to play the role of a villain also. And somebody who is willing to take that infamy, it's a very high level of seva, and Kekai did that. Great. Let's hear from others as well. Amrutamani ji, if you can call out names.
Radhe Radhe, Prakash ji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Prakash ji.
Sorry, my throat is not good today. I think the beautiful points that what you have said about the prioritization of the work and the seva, right? So this is exactly true, and I can correlate to myself because I work in the same IT world like you, right? And the company like Infosys. So I work in TCS. So the on-site offshore model is very, very much relevant to me. So the exact situation. So the two things which I can actually say is that the moment we actually realize that the importance of seva and spirituality, the attachment and priority These are the two things that actually happens, right? So before that, we're too much attached to the outcome of the work, and that's what. And we try to solve every problem in the world as if it belongs to us. And whatever the team we manage, what is span of control, even a small issue, we try to get onto it, and then we get stressed unnecessarily, and then get and get to the home, and that eats away a lot of our mental stability as well. So, and then when we actually realize the importance of seva, so that attachment comes down gradually, and the attachment towards the God increases, right? So I think that's the key difference that I have seen myself, at least. So, and we don't really, care about, like, what other people are thinking. Again, there's a subtle difference between attachment and losing, detachment versus, being non-competitive in the work, right? We should not ignore what is important, but at the same time, whatever is the non-value added activities, we should, slowly cut it down. So that we can only focus on what is really required, relevant, and not worry about the outcome of there, and then focus on the rest of the time to the seva. I think it automatically happens, and then and I can see myself also. I'm able to dedicate some time to seva instead of still working on it. Okay.
True. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prakashji, for sharing that. Yes, I've seen, the seva is growing on you, and you will be pleasantly surprising yourself every month on month, year on year, by seeing, you had actually so much of time you can create, which we earlier thought was completely non-negotiable, right? So this is how it goes. And then when you start realizing the benefit, even that those benefits are easily transferable over to the corporate side as well. Trust me, I realize it every day. The way you can operate, the way you can handle stress, situations, personalities, and even your work, everything starts becoming like a cakewalk after a while, right? It doesn't take away your mind space. So thank you for sharing that. And this is typically how it goes, right? Work is like that rubber ball. Even if you drop it, it'll bounce back. And it's not like our shoulders have to carry the weight of the entire world, right? Work will still continue. See, it's like this. We are busy collecting glass pieces around us. However, God wants us to collect the treasure chest of precious stones. And precious stones is seva in the world of divine realm for Hari and Guru. And glass pieces are what we are accumulating in the material world by investing, exerting ourselves, doing activity just to earn our paycheck. Okay, great discussion. Let's hear from others as well. Thank you.
Juanji, Radhe Radhe, thank you for waiting.
Radhe Radhe, Juanji.
Sure, no problem. Radhe Radhe. Actually, Nitinji, you covered the points I was about to say, that we're all doing seva by all our actions. And yes, there's material seva, but the spiritual seva, what I was going to say, which you already said, is, in my mind, I believe unless you have God's grace, you will not be able to do the spiritual seva. Like for me, I can speak for myself that there are things that I would like to do or get involved in, but I also believe that my time has not come, or the time has not come for me to engage in the seva that I actually want to do. So I'm just doing the best that I can, but I'm saying unless you have God's grace, you will not be able to do the seva that, that will spiritual seva. I think that's what I was trying to say.
True. Yeah, we need to keep striving for it, and God's grace will finally come. In fact, one small seva each one of us can do is to share it with friends. If they can join JK Yoga online sessions or Bhagavad Gita sessions, that itself will be a huge seva. We never know when we can give a push to somebody by sharing that post on Facebook, or maybe on a WhatsApp group, or talking to a friend. So many of you have come in through referrals. Somebody said, come over. That itself could be a great seva that each one of us can do, right? To help spread the message and get people to the session so that they can also benefit from this wonderful knowledge made accessible to us by, Maharaj and Swamiji. Yes, let's hear from others as well.
Thank you for waiting. Please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. I have two lines from scripture for today's topic. साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना ते हरि मिले, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं प्यारे. And second from my side, सेवा करूं, सेवा करूं, सेवा करूं प्यारे, सेवा ते मेवा मिले, सेवा करूं प्यारे, सेवा करूं प्यारे. Radhe Radhe. Thank you.
Radhe Radhe. Sumesh, very nice. You did the devotional segment as well. Beautiful. Very nicely sung. Thank you very much. I see Champaji.
Go ahead, Champaji. Thank you for waiting.
Champaji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Seva is something like Nitinji said, we get it when God chooses us to do that seva. And you yourself don't know that you have that much capacity to do the work. You know, actually, I was basically a teacher in Kendriya Vidyalaya, served all my, and then when I retired and came back, there is a very great saint in Karnataka. Now he is no more. He lived for 111 years, and his seva was to, in his campus, he keeps 10,000 orphan children of all caste and creed and gives them food, education, and shelter. It is called Trivida Dasoha. Dasoha means give. He's doing three things at the same time. That is food, education, and shelter. And this is for only the boys and the rural poor. So his devotees, he has a lot of devotees in Karnataka. His devotees thought the poor are not only in rural area, they are in the urban area also. So they thought for the slum people of Bangalore, they will open a CBSE school. They came and approached me. Actually, I retired as a teacher, not as a principal. They asked me to become the principal of the school because I had the KV experience. With lot of hesitation, I took it, and that too, I accepted it without any remuneration as a seva. I worked from 2004 to 2010 till they got the CBSE affiliation and all is a very, very big process. Till then I worked. I tell you, those 6 years, the Lord only held my hand and do all the things I did. I did not do a single thing. I really realized Shiva, you know, in that aspect. I was just an ordinary, sincere teacher. From where to where he brought me and gave me all these laurels, all grace of God. When I started this JKO class, Swapnaji once sent me a list of 100 names to say phone call, you know. I was thinking, Maya Prabha, 100 calls, when do I do it? When I started, you know, and they would recognize my voice. Maybe it is very funny, or I don't know what it is, it's different. Champaji, they'll say. And you feel like, you know, you belong to. Once I happened to call Kritiji's mother, you know. We were so happy to talk to one another. I have not met Kritiji, but through the organization, she has helped me many times when I get stuck with the thing. Like that, all the sevas we get, sort of, you know, you are not doing it actually. You are not capable of doing it. The God will let you. He will hold your hand. If possible, he will carry you and make things do. I'm really grateful for these classes. And so, and the same way, we started in a very small way, JKO Bangalore session, you know, satsang. And when we started, there were hardly 3-4 people like that, you know. Now,
I don't know. It has just by the grace of Swamiji and all that, it has grown into such a big tree. All is to start the seva and then do it. If I have time, I just want to add one more sentence. Do I have time?
Sure, please.
See, I go for a regular seva in Atmadarshan Yogashram, that is Munger Bihar School of Yoga's branch in Bangalore. They give the seva not according to what. See, supposing I'm a teacher, I would like to teach, I think that seva I can do well, but they'll not give you that. They will give you some other seva which you have never done it, to bring your ego down, They just took me to one room and there were a lot of old books, just dumped all sorts of books, all mixed up, and said, can you organize it? I had no knowledge of maintaining a library or classification or anything. I just came home and thought, oh my, how will I do it? But that was a seva given to me. So I started looking around things and start talking to the librarians and asking for the apps and things like that. I was able to do it to a certain extent. While I was organizing the books, I found boxes and boxes of CDs and DVDs. Those were the lectures given by Niranjananandji and all those people. Just dumped. Nobody had opened it, The thought came like, nobody has seen it once. So for the senior citizens on Thursday, we will make them watch these videos and have a discussion. We call this video darshan. From then on, the thought came from the Guru, not from anybody else. Now it is going on so well. See, we will sometimes feel lazy to watch 1 hour DVD, that too spiritual one, just by itself. In a group, we are doing it. It is going on so well. So seva is really seva only, and I'm really grateful to God and Guru for that.
Thank you, Champaji, for narrating your experiences. True. And whoever has done the seva, they will vouch for what Champaji just said, because the quickest, surest way to test God and Guru is by getting engaged in seva and picking it up, even though you don't think you can do it. Right? Swamiji also says the best way to test God and Guru is pick up something which you think is beyond your means, beyond your ability and capacity, and put in your best. And when it gets done, it was not you who was doing it. So there is an invisible hand guiding you every day. I realize it every day as well. And that is why I'm saying seva is the best thing in life. You hit a jackpot when you get seva. Maharajji used to say, Swamiji had told once, that for the seva, like the sevas that we are doing, anything related to JK, I'm telling you, which is coming through Swamiji, Maharaj used to say this, then people would flock up in Golok to get that seva. They'll line up. And we are getting it even without any eligibility. It's a huge deal in whatever form or manner we can get it. But thank you for sharing that, Champaji. You realize it's God and Guru who are guiding you, and you can only try your best and do it with sincerity. They will take care of it. That happens. That's a fact. A lot of people can tell that. It happens. I experience it every day as well, right? There are things I end up saying when I'm posting recordings and I listen to some of the stuff that I've said. Even I can't believe, okay, where did those words come from? So I know what happens basically. So it's a great way to experience God and Guru. Get involved in seva and don't let go of that opportunity if it comes your way. Okay. I know we are a little over. We can take remaining hands real quick, and then maybe a couple of devotional segment as well.
Sure. Pallavi just mentioned Meva is a kind of return gift. She just mentioned it in the chat.
Meva is a return gift. Okay. Meva. Madam Meva is also the same.
Sandhya, go ahead, ma.
I just wanted to say this, that seva is also very, very purifying, and by that virtue, it accelerates our spiritual journey by many, many folds. And also I remember Swamiji once said that the level, because of the nishkamta that comes with it, the level where one can reach through seva is actually higher than what one can do just by sadhana. So that way also it was really And
Swamiji
just
said
one more.
that it may take longer if you go through the seva route, but you will go higher.
Right, yeah. And also, one does not require any skills
Any
to be able to do seva. And in fact, the skills are bestowed by Hari and Guru only.
Very true.
And
Very true.
yeah, the only thing I feel is needed is sincerity. That's it. The sincere seeking, sincere efforts, then everything else will fall in place. So I
Willingness
guess,
to
yeah.
willingness to do and put in that initial inertia overcoming. The rest all God and Guru will take. They'll provide for whatever is needed for you to do that seva. Is Meenuji here or not? I don't know. Maybe she can talk. I don't see her. Maybe she had to drop off. You can ask her story. She had no clue about social media and all that stuff. And today she's the most active person and she raises funds just by using all those things, right? She had no clue how to even post anything. And today she was able to raise funds in the previous campaign just by her social media and all that stuff because she believed it is doable. And it happened. God and Guru just checks our effort and everything they only end up doing finally. And that is something you can realize it only after you start putting in some efforts around it. Yes, let's take the last two hands real quick.
Rahulji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. I just remembered Swamiji mentioned that when we are doing the seva, we have to mix it with the feelings of love also, so that we are doing it for our Shyam Sundar, for our Maharajji, for our Swamiji. So that loving sentiment is also very important when we are trying to do seva, whatever the seva may be. And the second point is that it makes us disciplined also, because if we are committed, then we will think about doing all other activities, but we will keep this as a priority also, because we have the deadlines, we have to complete it anyhow. So all the other things can take a backseat kind of thing.
True. We'll talk about the benefits of seva and the mindset that is needed to do seva tomorrow. Okay, it's a very interesting topic. Of course, we need a mindset to do seva, because if seva is chalta hai thing for us in our mind always, it's more of a convenience thing. If we have time, other things are more important, then you'll never be able to cross over that barrier. But when you make it a non-discretionary thing, a commitment in life, then you start reaping the benefits of it. And we'll talk about these mindsets tomorrow. Also the benefits of seva, immense benefits. We'll talk about those tomorrow. It's a topic for tomorrow's discussion. Yes, Aparna ji, you wanted to add something? And then I'm going to sing, okay, after that. No, I'll take up some hands here. Yeah, Aparna
Please
ji,
go ahead, Aparna ji.
Yes, I listened to everyone talking about seva so much, actually, from all of you. Shame on me, seva opportunity actually came a couple of times, but it's hasn't materialized. It's actually my bad. I'm worried that, again, the same things like lack of skills, and I don't want to come across as that one unreliable person, by missing once or twice. So that is my biggest fear.
Yeah, I get that. I think that's a deterrent for most of us, not being able to live up to the commitment or not having the required skill, or, oh my God, my routine will get disrupted, if something big comes my way. We just have to pick up something small, at least to begin with, and take a leap of faith. That's the only way to progress, because I'm telling you, it will grow on you. So maybe something that you feel comfortable with, and the regular seva of spreading the message around or trying to motivate somebody who can start attending the sessions is everybody can do, posting it on Facebook and stuff like that. Start with something small that can always be worked out, but don't let go of that opportunity, because that inertia, if you don't conquer it in this life, you again have to confront that mindset again, right? So it's better to get into that. Amruta Vaniji, she can probably talk about her seva journey, how she started, and now she's like the face of all the co-hosting, I would say. So we just have to sail over that initial inertia, and then look at Shyamji. Now he's smiling and telling people to turn on their videos and just taking it like fish takes to water. So it just grows on you. You just have to take a
Step I
leap
have
of faith.
taken is, at least I have agreed. Now I have to just take training. So because of that, I may not be able to attend Tuesday, Wednesdays. I may be co-hosting other sessions. So
It'll work out. Don't worry. It'll work out. Trust me.
Thank you.
Great.
Very true.
Okay. All right. Now we come to the devotional segment. Anybody who wants to do, maybe we can take one or two, not more than that, because I think we have already overshot our time. Anybody who wants to sing today?
If nobody's there, I'll do it, Nitinji.
Sure, Amritavani ji. Let's you and I can do it then today. Go ahead.
Sure, please. You do the honors. Please, you do it first, Nitinji.
You do it, please. First, ladies first, and I insist.
Okay, one way it's better so that we can end in a beautiful.
No, okay. Let me. Oh, with that logic, let me do it first. Okay.
No.
Gents
So
first, and I insist. Okay.
I'll just take 2 minutes to talk. Aparna ji,
Okay,
trust me, I do not know anything about computer. I keep telling Haspita, I learned to turn on computer when I was in my college. So that is how this is the off button, this is the on button. That is it. I don't know anything about it. But opening a bridge, co-hosting, sending, whatever, I don't know. I think it's just all, God made me to do it all.
All right. Beautiful. Yes. You can talk about your Seva journey. I think it will inspire a lot of people. And one thing will lead to another, will lead to another, and will lead to another. And before you realize it, you have already started enjoying, relishing the bliss of Seva. Okay. And the divine stress that it creates is even better. It's much better than the material stress that we feel in our regular work. Okay. It is an uplifting stress. Trust me, the kind of commitments and things that we have on our plate, but it is good. It is very satisfying at the end of the day.
That is true.
Okay, so let's get to yes, sorry, go ahead. Did I cut you off?
No. I just wanted to sing the Kirtan. Actually, I sang this in front of Swamiji first time in the family camp. So that is the only reason I wanted to sing it today. So it's a Telugu Kirtan. It's a Ramadas Kirtan. I'll just take 2 minutes.
Sure.
Shuddha Brahma Parat Pararama Kalatmaka Parameshwara Rama. Shuddha Brahma Parat Pararama Kalatmaka Parameshwara Rama. Seshatalpa Sukhanidvita Rama Brahmadyamara Prardita Rama. Rama Rama Jaya Raja Rama. Rama Rama Jaya Sita Rama. Shuddha Brahma Parat Pararama Kalatmaka Parameshwara Rama. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very nice. Loved it. I know you sang it during the family camp, right?
Yes, because everybody was singing. I was like, why should I not sing in front of Swamiji? And I went and sang.
I see you're very competitive. Very nice. You did that. All right.
And that day I received the book Essence of Hinduism from him.
Okay, as a prize, I guess.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Do we have anybody else, or I could do that as well?
Please, Nitinji.
All right. So let me cite a couple of lines from a bhajan that I have been, I love listening to. Let me go ahead. Maybe a couple of lines. Radha Vallabh Kunja Vihari Murali Dhara Govardhan Radha Vallabh Kunja Vihari Murali Dhara Govardhan Dhari Ho Giridhari Ho Banvari Amari Bara Manakasadhari Radha Vallabh Kunja Vihari Murali Dhara Govardhan Dhari Raghunandan Prana Pirite Tum binu jiyat bahut din bite Radha Vallabha Kunja Vihari Murlidhar Govardhan Dhari Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. All right. Thank you, everyone. So I've been liking this bhajan, so I said, okay, let's take this opportunity today.
Awesome. I see Poonamji's hand. Can we take a reality?
Yes, Poonamji, please.
Radhe Radhe, Poonamji.
Radhe Poonamji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Poonamji. Your voice is breaking a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's better. Yes. Now you can.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I think I always and the interactive session is very, it's really amazing.
Your voice is.
Poonamji,
Poonamji,
Radhe
your voice
Radhe,
is not
Poonamji, your
cooperating.
voice is breaking a lot. You can turn off your video and talk, maybe.
Yeah,
because
can you please try turning off your video and then talk? Then it may be.
Am I able?
No, you can turn off the video and
You may want to turn off your video and then talk.
I don't see her now. I think
Okay. So Poonamji, if you're still around, since we could not hear you, you can fill out the feedback tracker and mention your comments. Maybe once you fix your audio, we would be able to take you up tomorrow. Or if you're back, you may want to try it again. Yeah, Abhishek, you had a question or something?
No, I just want to sing 2 lines.
Sure, go ahead.
मन करो सुमिरन राधा है जीवन धन राधा श्याम हो स्वामी राधा जय जयति राधा रटु नित्य नाम राधा नित गुणन राधा नित ध्यान छवि राधा जय जयति राधा राधे राधे.
Very nice, Abhishek. Wonderful. It's a very beautiful bhajan. Loved it. Great. I think with that, we come to the end of today's session. And sorry. Okay.
Shyamji.
राधे राधे. I want to share something. या तो हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म सिंगर्स का है या सिंगर्स का प्लेटफॉर्म है ये, मुझे समझ नहीं आता कभी कभी. Every day I find people singing so melodiously, so well, so blissfully कि everybody is a singer here now. So लगता है मुझे भी अपने skills थोड़ा सुधारने पड़ेंगे और अच्छा गाना पड़ेगा. It's a really wonderful place to be around people like this and it's really blissful. इसका भी आइडिया था ना ये कि do some bhajans daily. It's a wonderful idea. Trust you me. It really feels so blessed to be around here. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Shyamji. I know we have so many wonderful, melodious and bhavpun singers here. So always a pleasure to do that. Yes, Poonamji, you're back. Are you able to talk now? I saw your...
Poonamji, turn off your video and I will unmute you. Turn off your video. That's why
Jyotiji, Jyoti ji, in the meantime, please
Yes,
go ahead. I
yes.
think you have
Jyoti
raised
ji,
your
I
hand.
will unmute you. Jyoti ji, please go ahead. You've been unmuted.
Radhe Radhe everybody. Today is Vasant Panchami. So I just wanted to sing 2 lines of Meera's bhajan about
Sure.
Vasant. किया तन और मन अर्पण सब प्रीत के बंधन में रंग ली मीरा ने आज चुनरिया गिरधर के रंग में जब प्रीत के झूले में मन चितवन झूल गई दुनियादारी क्या है तन सब कुछ भूल गई ओ गर्मी या सर्दी या छड़ी लगी बरसात जब याद कृष्ण आए लगे सरसों फूल गई लगी आई रुत बसंती जीवन के आंगन में रंगली मीरा ने आज चुनरिया गिरधर के रंग में. Happy Basant Panchami, everybody. Radhe Radhe.
Very nice. Loved it, Jyoti ji. Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very
Glad
nice.
you raised your hand and sang it. It's loved it. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Okay,
Poonam ji.
Are we getting third time lucky or not today?
Poonam ji, can you unmute yourself, please? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. I think you can hear me now.
Yes,
Now we can hear
please
you.
go ahead.
Oh, that's great. That's great. This is such a blissful program which I never want to miss because it is just like a shower, means where I'm washing all my pap and getting all the punya and listening you Nitin ji, it's like the tourism का ऐसा चल रहा है. So that I'm into this blissful family. I simply say we all are a family. That and one more thing I just want to add over here. I have a query that can I get the previous recordings because I'm going to the link. See, I have no idea that how to get those recordings which you have already shared in the portal. I have gone through, but yeah, I didn't got it. I mean, I'm not
So-
able to subscribe it and how to do it. Please help me.
Sandhya will share a link. Can you fill in the feedback tracker? I'll share the playlist with you so that you have everything. Okay. So please fill in the feedback tracker with your contact number, and then I'll share a playlist with you where you'll get all the recordings.
But can you please share the link also? I mean, attendance wala jo link, whatever you are saying, that link. I will.
Attendance link is shared, I believe, right?
Yeah, I see. I saw just now. Sandhya Didi said, thank you so much.
Or you
Thank you
can
so
text
much.
one of us if you have, and then you'll get all. Yeah, thank you so much, Poonam ji, and thank you for your kind
Thank
words. Please attending the session, and yes, you are right. It's like a very closed family that we have, and we sing and pretty much open ourselves up, in these sessions, and it's a wonderful satsang that we have every day. Great. So now let's wrap up today's session because unless we wrap it up, we can't do the next session. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. We will continue with our discussion on SEVA. It's very important discussion, so don't miss out on that tomorrow. And happy Basant Panchami. And if your friend's name is Basant, don't say Basant Panchami. He may even punch you. And have a wonderful and great rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Radhe Radhe, good night, good day. Bye.